I'm always looking for details to photograph, and this wrought iron gate really got my attention. I just love all of the spirals and lines on it. So I want to get really close to get lots of nice detail in my shot. So my first view is filling the frame widthways with the gate. I've got quite close to the railings here because I really like the details on them. And I'm starting off by having this bar here go across the middle of the frame. But I'm not really pleased with the way that it looks. We'll take it anyway, but I think for me, it's not really doing it for me compositionally. I want to look at a picture and go, oh yeah, I really like the way that that's arranged. And one of the first things I can do to make it more interesting is just move the camera upwards a little bit so that this horizontal bar is now going diagonally into the corner of the frame. That already looks a lot more dynamic and interesting. I think that's quite a nice picture, but I'm still not quite getting what I'm after. And it's this curve here. I really like the way that looks. So I'm going to get closer to it, position it more to the side of the frame, and notice how you've got this curved section going right into the corner and also bearing off here into this little spiral. And if you're into using the rule of thirds to position things on the frame, you'll see that this is also pretty close to one of the areas of interest, so your eye is naturally drawn to that. And I think that is a lot more interesting and dynamic in terms of a composition. So I'm going to take that, and I'm pretty pleased with the way that that looks. Okay, let's check them in a review. For this shot, I've got close enough to fill the width of the image with the gate. And initially I thought it'd be a nice idea to have this bar cutting the composition in half. So we've got this top and bottom section here. But looking at it now, I'm not sure it's as interesting as I'd like it to be. It's okay, but I think I can do better. For this shot, I've filled the width of the frame with the gate, but I've moved the camera higher so that this bar is now pointing into the corner and it leads your eye into the shot. I think it's more dynamic as a result, but it's still not quite doing it for me compositionally. I think I can do better by concentrating on some details. For this view, I've got a lot closer to this spiral section on the gate. I really like the way it looks and the way that this bar now goes into the upper left corner, draws your eye into the frame, and it can alternatively go around this spiral, which is positioned nicely on the left half. I've also framed it so that this lighter portion is in front of a darker wall, so there's higher contrast in this image. And I think just by adjusting my angle, this composition has become a lot more dynamic and interesting as a result. So this is the one that I'd post.